I want to move on now to Joe Biden, who seems to be hiding from the media at the moment. He's in Ireland. He has not done a formal press conference, and I think it's been around 150 days since the last time he stood up before the press. Earlier in the program, we had another journalist from Washington who said it is absolutely extraordinary that there hasn't been a bilateral press conference between the president and the prime minister, which normally happens on these foreign visits. Have a look and see how he's been handling the media. Every time they try to ask a question in Ireland, his handlers shuffle them out of the room.
We're walking out this way. Walking out this way. We're walking out. We're walking out. Listen. We're walking out this way. Press. Press. We're moving. We're moving.
And the press in the States has been asking why they're not allowed to ask questions. Have a look at what Karine Jean-Pierre said about this.
So I'll say this. It is also unprecedented that a president takes as many shouted questions as this president has. And he has. Okay.
I'll tell you, almost every day on this
okay. Well, we'll certainly get the data and share that with all of you.
Is the media now, Steve, finally starting to wake up and say Joe Biden is not their friend and just get absolutely sick of the fact that they have no access to the president?
I think there's a combination of things going on here. I think on one level, Karine Jean-Pierre is not performing very well in her press secretary duties. Jen Psaki, when she was behind the podium, had a president that also didn't take questions, also didn't hold press conferences, but she would come and she would answer questions. You know, she wasn't always honest. That's what press secretaries do. And she was competent. Karine Jean-Pierre is not that. And so I think they're getting annoyed with the person who's standing between them and the president not doing their job also. But the other thing I think that's going on here, it's a little bit what you got to in the last segment. Is Joe Biden running for president? And is he competent himself to be running for president? And if he's not able to take questions from the press, you see the interactions that he has with everyone he encounters on this foreign trip. I mean, it's embarrassing. And if he's not prepared to go and do that, this is not 2020. This is not the pandemic. He can't hide in the basement. He's going to have to take tough questions. He's going to have to go on the trail. And the press does not want Donald Trump to win again in 2024. And if Joe Biden's not up to the task, they need to get someone else in there. So I think you're going to see the press really start to push this as 2023 gets going.
And in the media offices in the White House where they strategize about all of this, do you think they're really asking serious questions about whether or not Joe Biden is even capable of standing up before the press and handling an hour of off-the-cuff questioning?
Yeah, I remember, I mean, he's held so few press conferences that you remember moments from the ones that he has. It was only, I believe it was in January, was I think his last press conference. And he had that embarrassing comments about Russia. I mean, you put him in front of the press and he completely fails and it goes backwards in terms of messaging for his administration. So they know what the stakes are. And I think that's really what the calculus here is. You can't put him in front of the press. Can you actually get him to run for president and get in front of the people? You know, even if he's not taking questions to the press is going to cover his events. That's going to be a huge problem for them if they feel like they cannot even trust him for a few seconds taking questions from the random person at the diner.